Syria, says Trump today. Now, the thing is, this chemical attack and everything has prompted the world to action, because they are so horrified at the death of these children, and quite rightly so. But its investigation needs to be launched, not missiles, I believe. And the Bible says, follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Now, look at this here. It says, verse 5, Revelation chapter 9, it says that they would kill, and it took 5 months. Now, this killing spitted out fire, brimstone, and smoke. So it had the face of a man in it, and made a huge noise, and it basically is what I think is an airplane, because it says it has wings. Okay, so if this is for 5 months, what is 5 months? It's 150 days. And the Bible says, Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 6, that 1 day is a prophetical year. So it's 150 years. 129 million have already died, okay, in wars since 1914. The biblical time we're given is 5 months, which I think is 150 years from the First World War. Takes us to the end of the world, around about 2052. So I don't think this will come to anything. These wars and missiles and things, and intercepting of missiles. Verse 16 is down here somewhere. It says that 200 million are involved in the Armageddon conflict. 129 million already dead, so hopefully the next 71 million will be avoided. The death we'll have learned from the Bible to avoid Armageddon. And if I take you to chapter 17, it's the kings of the east who are involved in it. They come out the river Euphrates. Of course, that's Syria. And this war goes on. Armageddon. Okay, there it says. And if you can read that verse there. So anyway, thing is, the kings of the east come out the 3 frogs. I think one is communism, the other's the false prophet, who beheads the Christians, as we read in Revelation chapter 20, verse 8. Okay, just look at that. Show somewhere. You can see it. And so that's it, basically. And Gog and Magog go forth and attack the saints, which the New Testament talks about the Christians as the saints. See that verse 8 there? And on the 4 corners of the earth, which is all over the world, the attack is on the church, the saints. And I think that's communism and the false prophet, which we've been seeing, the beheading of Christians, verse 4 of that chapter. So yeah, it's all happening. And as I said, chapter 10 says the time will be no longer. That's what happens. Armageddon leads to that. And Jesus said, the sea and the waves will roar after the Jews repossess Jerusalem, which is already happening now. And again, I think the dates are about after 2052. If we take the star, which is appearing in 2022, 30 years later, for instance, with Bethlehem, the star appeared, and then Jesus came to the world preaching 30 years later after the star at Bethlehem. So this red supernova in 2022 they've predicted to happen 30 years after that would tie in with what I just said. Verse 5, 150 days. It's 150 years from the Second World War. 2022. Add 30 years. 2052. First World War. 2014. Add 150 years. 2064, you're saying, yeah, but that's because, watch, here, still approximate dates, I'm not giving exact dates. Verse 16 and verse 15, it says here that, if you can read it, anyway, what it is there, I can't read it with my glasses on, but the thing is, it's a day, a month, a year, and an hour, which is, if you add it all up, 396 days. And a day is a biblical year, Ezekiel 4 verse 6, if you want to look at that text. And 396 years, I'm taking that from Cromwell. This time it doesn't say about wings, it's the time of the preparation, see, to war, which was when they perfected cannon in 1641. There was the Civil War. I think about 80,000 died in the battles then. Up to as much as 200,000 died apparently, because obviously the injuries they got. Which was the largest war recorded for a long time. With cannon, I think that was the biggest battle at the time. Add 396 years, takes you up to 2052, around about there. So, any time after 2052, I think, is the Armageddon battle, when it talks about the kings of the east being prepared that they shall attack, as I said in chapter 17, as we looked at just now. And yeah. Anyway, there you go. So, Bible's correct again, and Bible's always correct on everything. So, better accept Jesus Christ as your God and Saviour today before it's too late. Even though we may have 30 years, the end of the world could be tomorrow. My understanding of the Bible could be, it might not be the, I mean, the end of the world could be tonight. You need to be ready. That's what we need to do. The Bible says to be ready, watch. The end of the world is near.